Okay. Good evening. My name is Dan Garcia. Today I'd like to talk about using coal as a power source. Coal is the most popular source of power in the United States. However, many are not aware of the health effects and the damages that it causes to the land. Since cleaner power options are available, we should support clean energy and make these practices more available. People living in communities around coal mining sites are experiencing many health problems due to the pollution that's left behind in and around the coal mining sites. In fact, the United States is the largest supplier of coal in the world, containing more deposits of coal than Russia and China. When large deposits of coal are found, small communities and farmlands quickly transform into boom towns for those seeking the employment possibilities that strip mining provides. However, this is a short-lived success for all involved except for the big business owners. Strip mining rips the land of all nutrients and vitality, leaving behind useless tracts of land, as well as robbing these workers in the communities surrounding these areas of their health. Mining for natural resources has been practiced throughout the world for centuries. However, this process has left many of these resource-rich areas uninhabitable for human life. The Appalachian Mountains is a primary source of coal in the eastern United States. This mountain range is at risk due to devastation caused by coal mining, the devastation that coal mining leaves behind. This is particularly interesting for my family because my wife is from the Appalachian Mountains, and a lot of her family has worked in the mines. Mining began in the Appalachian Mountains in 1807 when geologist David T. Ansted discovered large seams of coal in the mountains. Coal is a product of millions of years of decomposition of organic materials. Accumulated plant and animal matter is covered by sediment and stored within the Earth's crust and is gradually transformed to hard black solids by the sheer weight of the Earth's surface. Coal, like other fossil fuel supplies, cannot be considered a renewable resource. The nation's fleet of over 100 coal plants is responsible for over 55% of electricity generated in the United States, more than any other single electricity fuel source. Coal is typically burned to create steam, which is then piped at high pressure over a turbine, causing it to rotate and produce electricity. However, the environmental effects of coal surface mining are detrimental. In addition to atmospheric pollution, coal mining and burning produces hundreds of millions of tons of solid waste annually. According to the reports issued by the World Health Organization in 2008, coal pollution is estimated to shorten approximately 1 million lives annually worldwide, including nearly 24,000 lives a year just in the United States. Coal mining generates significant adverse environmental health impacts. Among them is polluted water flowing from mountain top removal mining. Water pollution occurs when coal surfaces are exposed. The pyrite within coal comes in contact with water and air and forms sulfuric acid. As water drains from the mine, the acid moves into the waterways. As long as rain falls on the mine, the sulfuric acid production continues, whether the mine is still operating or not. This process is known as acid mine drainage. If the coal is strip mined, the entire exposed seam expels sulfuric acid. This leaves the soil infertile, and the surface begins to pollute streams. Surface waters may be rendered unfit for agricultural or human consumption, bathing, or other uses. In the Ohio River Basin, 1,200 operating coal mines drained an estimated annual 1.4 million tons of sulfuric acid into the drainage basins during the 1960s. In Pennsylvania alone, mine drainage had blighted 2,000 stream miles by 1967. The toxic runoff and land degradation transformed these areas into contaminated wastelands. In addition to the land destruction, workers in these mines and the families that reside within the towns have massive amount of toxins, have been exposed to massive amount of toxins, in the air and water, and then they typically acquire major health problems. Adverse effects on these communities' health is a major factor in the elimination of fuel sources. Michael Hendricks, a professor of public health at West Virginia University analyzed mortality rates in their mining industry. Mining rate in West Virginia after adjusting to other factors including poverty, occupational illness, they found statistically significant elevations in deaths for chronic lung, heart, and kidney disease, as well as lung and digestive system cancers. Overall, cancer mortality was also elevated. Coal also contains trace amounts of mercury that, when burned, enter the environment and can act on the nervous system to cause loss of intellectual capacity. Coal-fired power plants are responsible for approximately 1/3 of all mercury emissions. Researchers have estimated that between 300,000 and 600,000 children are born in the United States each year with blood mercury levels high enough to impact the performance on neurodevelopmental tests and cause lifelong loss of intelligence. So now that we know some of the dangers associated with using coal as a power source, let's look at alternatives of coal that are not only cleaner but more cost-effective as well. Two alternatives of coal power is solar power and wind power. Wind and solar power are both exceedingly cleaner to utilize than coal for obvious reasons. However, both are still in somewhat of a developmental stage. Coal is still the major source of our power due to the fact that this energy infrastructure is already established and the cost of effectiveness of burning coal. Consequently, when one takes into account the environmental cleanup and adverse effects on our nation's health, the price seems minuscule. Solar power is gaining popularity every year, and has begun to become more affordable. A recent article posted by the Equalizer stated that if the United States moved aggressively to start harnessing the solar power it receives daily, it could generate enough clean energy to meet the country's needs many times over. The article continued to clarify the prospect by stating that if one were to utilize solar energy provided by direct sunlight in the Southwest alone, we could generate enough power to supply the entire United States and then some. Remember that, in closing, I like to state that, remember that supporting alternative energy sources is imperative to maintaining our natural resources and to keep toxins away from our small mountain communities and our communities at large. Coal as an energy source causes pollution, depletes natural resources, and is harmful to the health of coal miners and coal mining communities. Thankfully, though, innovation and education on the use of fossil fuels as a power source is on the decline. Or through the use of education, the use of fossil fuels as a power source on a whole is on the decline. Excuse me. We should support making aggressive changes for clean energy, alternative resources available, or changes for clean energy, alternative resources. We have a chance to make the world a better place for generations to come. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you were able to take away some useful information about the harmful effects of using coal and some cleaner alternatives to power. Thank you. Good night.